Okay, tonight what we're going to do is an ode to Texas barbecue. I'm in Texas. I've been dying for some Texas barbecue. I went to one place and I was sadly disappointed. So I decided to go back to my cooking skills and make up some Texas barbecue my own way. Again, my own way. This is also a testament for the dollar stores. All of the spices you see here, with the exception of one or two, were purchased from a dollar store at $1 a piece, as opposed to $3 and $4 a bottle. I've found for making rubs and things like that, these spices are just as good as the top shelf brands, and they go a long way. I also found this beautiful shaker top container that I'm going to put the spices in to make my rub. And usually I use a quart jar, like a canning jar, but this is going to suffice very well for what we're doing and where we're at. It screws on tight, then you shake, you got a beautiful thing. So, what we're going to start off with, I like to use a combination of about anywhere from 9 to 12 different spices in my rub for both ribs, brisket, chicken, anything like that, where it's going to be sitting, marinating in the rub for at least 24 hours, and then cook. So we're not going to cook today. What we're going to do today is we're going to prepare the rub. We're going to prepare some ribs that I picked up, and we're going to put the rub on. We're going to wrap it all up tight. I'm going to stick it in the fridge, and we're going to let it chill out for like a day or two until we're ready to use it. Now, first off, I'm starting off with garlic. I like garlic to be my predominant flavor. This is 2.5 ounces of garlic. I'm going to put that whole thing of garlic in there. That was only $1. That's what we love about the dollar stores. I bought some extra just in case. I like I said, I like to do garlic as the predominant flavor, and then anything after that I do in stages according to my flavor preference. The next one is going to be paprika. Paprika adds a nice red tinge to the rub, which kind of enhances. I'm going to put like half of this container, which is again, this one is 3.17 ounces. I'm going to use like half of this. That should be about good to go to my 2.5 ounces of garlic. Next is black pepper. As you can see, these are all brand new. I just bought these today. And I do it in stages like this, so I can see what it's going to look like and what it's going to taste like almost. I couldn't find onion powder at the dollar store, so I omitted it. Here's oregano. I'm probably going to do a good palm full of oregano in there. Maybe a little bit more. Cayenne pepper. If you like it to have a little bit of heat, we're going to throw in a little heat. But just a tinge. We don't want it, not too many people like to get their palates burned when they're eating, but a little heat is okay. Chili powder. I like chili powder because chili powder has a couple of different ingredients in it already. You can make your own chili powder. It's just cumin and cayenne pepper and a couple others, but it's got a nice smoky smell to it, and I'm going to add that also. We can't forget cumin. Cumin, is the numero uno spice of any kind of barbecue, Texas or otherwise. It's got a nice smoky flavor. It's got a nice, it's undescribable what cumin smells like, really. I'm going to put that in. We're going to do some salt. Not too much salt, as you can see. And some sugar. You can use brown sugar or white sugar, it doesn't matter. I'm not putting a lot because I don't want it overly sweet, but I'm putting enough just to top off this container. Now, what I'm going to do is take a piece of plastic wrap. Wait till I tell you the story about this plastic wrap. I'm going to take a piece of plastic wrap and cover the top here because this has holes in it. If I was going to shake it all up and mix it, guess what? We're going to have a kitchen full of this stuff all over the place. So I'm going to put the plastic wrap on there. I'm going to close this up. We've got our myriad of spices. Almost looks like one of those sand mosaics. And now we're going to just shake it all up and get it all nice and mixed. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I happen to love these things. My wife can't stand them. These plastic cutting boards. They're thin sheets of plastic. You can have one for every kind of meat or fish or poultry that you're working with. And when you're done, you just wash them all up and it's really nice. I mean, you keep things very sanitary that way. All right, we're pretty well mixed up in here. And what did that take? It took nothing. Okay, I got a little hole here, it looks like. Because I'm starting to get seasoned. Yeah, yep, I do. So, let's open that up. The seasoning also moved around and compressed a little bit. Good thing I was doing that over the sink. What you want to do at this point is taste your seasoning. And I say taste it because you can still adjust the amount of seasoning you've got in here. Wow. I've got my garlic. I got my sugar. Believe it or not, that little amount of sugar made a big difference in here. I got that smoky cumin flavor. And the cayenne is hitting the back of my palate right about now. So that's perfect. That is perfect. I'm going to add a little more salt. I think it needs a little bit more salt. So put a little more salt there. And we're going to shake it up again. Okay. Now that we've shaken that all up, I'm going to get the meat out of the refrigerator. We'll spread these out nicely. This is a funny thing. I was in the store and I saw cling wrap, limited edition green wrap. And I'm thinking, everybody's talking about going green, and we got to be green, and we got to go green, and usually it's more expensive to go green, even though they're using old stuff to make green stuff, like recycled, but they want to charge you more for it. Anyway, I figured, I'll go green. And so I went and I picked this up and I bought it. They weren't talking about green as being green, saving the environment. They were talking about color. It's green. So imagine my surprise when I went to wrap those steaks up the other night. All right, what we got here is well, not about, I'm gonna read it. This is 5.8 pounds of pork spare ribs. The big ones, not the baby backs. I'm gonna lay out a couple of miles here of green wrap, because that's the other trick to these delicious ribs. This seems flimsier than their normal wrap. Seems a little flakier. We're going to put three layers out here. A little bit longer than our ribs. And we're going to have to use more of that, so we'll be coming back to this. And we're going to open up the bag. Yes, I did wash my hands prior to this. And we're going to slide our ribs out onto the green paper. Okay, I've opened my ribs up. They're right here on the table. I've got 3 wraps of saran wrap. And we've got our shaker full of our wonderful rub that we made. And now there's a dispute amongst different people. See this? This is the silver skin. Some people like to take this and peel this all off, and it is a nightmare to get off. And other people say it doesn't make a difference, leave it, the ribs are just as tender. I've tried both ways. There really isn't a big difference when you take it off or take it on. Some say it keeps the moisture in, so the ribs are a little bit more tender. So what I do is I take a knife, and just for fun, I score it like this. I'm putting long lines in it, about a ½ inch apart. And this way, if it's tough, it's gonna chew just fine now at this point, because it's all cut up into little tiny pieces. And if it's gonna keep moisture in, guess what? It'll keep half the moisture in. So we're gonna do the back side first. Look at this. Isn't this so convenient? And for only $1. Look at this. We're gonna shake this on, shake it, shake it, shake it till you can't see the meat no more. That's what we're gonna do. See this? This is going to make such a crust on these ribs and such a flavor. Now we can get into the whole patting and rubbing and loving thing. Right now I'm just into getting every inch covered. Then I'm going to flip it over. I like to pat it a little bit, push it down into the meat. Then we're going to flip it over onto the other side and do the same thing. We're going to shake it out, shake it out. And now a word from our sponsor. Well, I do this. We'll be back. And I'm just trying something. Maybe I'm going to throw in a sponsor here. Maybe somebody can sponsor my little endeavors here, making my cooking show, so that my children will know how to cook, even when I'm not around. So I'm just going to continue to do this. If I do get to edit it off and put a commercial in here, you'll see the commercial and then you get to laugh, because I know I'm having a good time. So we didn't put any anti-caking agents in here, like baking soda or cornstarch or fillers or anything. This is just pure spice. And pure spice tends to want to stick to itself and not shake out. See, look at this. I got to really shake it to get it to come out. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, this meat is thoroughly inundated with this rub. And now comes the important part. We're going to wash our hands first, and then we're going to start wrapping it up. Because the method I'm going to use, which is the oven method, which I can fool people into thinking I put these in a smoker for 4 hours, is we're going to wrap this up with the plastic wrap. Very nice and tight. This is going to go in the oven with the plastic wrap, all intact, into a pan, a cooking pan, and it's going to cook for about 3.5 hours. 3 hours, around 3 hours. With the plastic wrap. The plastic wrap, unbeknownst to me early in my life, will not melt as long as you keep it below 400 degrees, 350, 400 degrees. Because it too is plastic and it needed to be formed at one point in time. And they use heat to form plastic, but they use like 500 and 600 degrees. So this will not melt per se. What happens is in the oven, it will shrink up. I'm wrapping it real tight. I'm going to wrap it real tight because I want as few leaks as possible. But what will happen in the oven is the plastic wrap is going to get warm and malleable, and it's going to suck close to this piece of meat like it was vacuum formed on top of it. That we're almost making a bag for it to sit in, like that cryovac bag that it came in. And it's going to cook and steam and baste around in its own juices for about three hours. And then we're going to make a decision, depending on the ribs, if we're going to take them out completely of the bag and let them finish off in the oven, or if we're going to finish them off on a grill or something like that. They'll be all ready for us to go. So they're all nice and wrapped, nice and tight. This isn't leaking anywhere. A half a sheet pan would be better. I have a cookie tray, but that's what we're dealing with. So for now, I'm just going to throw this on the cookie tray. I'm going to turn it in towards the center a little bit, like that, so it fits on the cookie tray. This is going in the refrigerator. And we're going to leave this in the refrigerator. You can leave it in for as little as 8 hours, 6 hours, to as much as a couple of days. Preferably, I'm going to leave this in for like 1 or 2 days. And we're going to cook these off in 2 days in that oven, right there, at like 225 degrees for like 4 hours. In the third hour, we're probably going to peel off all this saran wrap. We're just going to leave the ribs exposed, and we're either going to mop them down with some barbecue sauce, or we're going to put, or we're going to put some wood chips in the oven that have been soaked overnight in water, and we're going to smoke these ribs, and they're going to come out just like they were smoked in a smoker. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I'm going to put these away now, and we'll see you next time when we pick this one back up. Thank you very much.